As busy realtors in the Duluth-Superior area, we are constantly out and about in the community and around town. This show highlights some of our favorite spots in the area and some of our partners in the real estate industry and the role they play in your next real estate transaction. We are Team Dusick with Edina Realty, and this is Everything Twin Ports. Everybody, it's Chad Watzek and Madeline Dusick, and we are with Team Dusick, and this is Everything Twin Ports. And we are super excited. We have a great new company in town here. It's Green Home Solutions, and the owner and operator is Steve Stern. And Steve, welcome today. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's great to sit down. Talk.
Awesome. We're super excited. So what does Green Home Solutions do, and kind of how to get going as well?
Yeah, Green Home Solutions is a franchise business. It's an indoor air quality company, so we address all types of concerns with what you might find in any built structure as far as health and safety for your air quality goes. There are about 200 of them nationwide right now. We're the second one to open up in Minnesota. It's been around for about 6 years, and we open up this is our second year now. So,
wow, good, 2 years in a row.
So why should we care about our indoor air quality?
There is an EPA statistic. Do you guys? I'm gonna have you play the guessing game. Well, you can't because I think you know the number. So it's on you, Madeline.
Okay.
Do you know, according to the EPA, what percentage of time Americans will spend indoors in their lifetime? Percentage.
70%.
Not bad. It's 93%.
Oh my gosh.
And I tell people, if you don't believe that, if you work and sleep indoors, that's 2/3 of the day already.
Yeah, right.
So we're already up to 66, and you haven't watched TV, cooked, cleaned. I mean, it's 93. You could spend 99%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why is indoor air quality important? It's almost all of the air you'll breathe in your lifetime will come from an indoor environment.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we're realtors, obviously, and so we're in a lot of homes constantly, whether it's looking at a property with the buyer to helping a seller get ready to list their property. And we walk into many homes, and a lot of times you get this hit of something, whether it's pet odor, smoking, scent from a previous smoker that was in the home, or when you're doing a showing, you walk in and you get a Glade plug-in or something like that, just overpowering you. And it's like, what are they trying to hide? And it kind of turns off the whole experience for that buyer. What are some things that you guys do that can kind of help with some of those problems that we face?
We always come in and diagnose odor problems from a standpoint of the root cause. So we're looking for why is it there. It's usually some kind of moisture issue. We use enzymatic treatments to disinfect all kinds of things: mold, allergens, dust, bacteria. We use products like ozone to disinfect and deodorize structures. There's a lot of HEPA vacuuming. It's a very green company we have. We're not using chemicals. We're not putting a lot of stuff in landfills. We have a wide variety of ways to treat the air in a structure, remove odors, dust, allergens, mold, things like that.
Okay.
So you've talked a lot about how to treat these problems, but where do the initial problems usually come from?
So a big one locally here in the Twin Ports is vented dirt crawl spaces. And what we have is earth that is full of, bacterias and spores and all kinds of things. We have a constant source of moisture that's trapped under a home. And when we do inspections, we find a lot of insulation, air sealing inefficiencies, lack of dehumidification, and you can really grow some stuff underneath a house, right?
I smelled it.
Yep. We have what we call the stack effect. Warm air is always rising up through structures and leaking out the top, and it's getting pulled in down at the bottom to replace what's left, right? That makes sense. So the problem we run into, the stack effect, every story of a multi-storied structure, so your house with crawl space, condition space, attic would be 4 stories for physics, and 50% of the air on each of those floors came from the floor below it. So if you ever look under your house and see a nasty, dank, scary crawl space, the air in there is getting into your home.
It's incredible. So like when you're like in the basement, like we go to basements because that's where you look for foundation issues when you're in a house, and you just are seeing nothing but cobwebs in the rim joists. Like I mean, I've heard you tell us this. I think our viewers need to hear this too. But kind of what is the whole thing to think about when you see all those
spiders in the basement? The cobwebs that stack up in the far extremities around the foundation of your house. They tell a real story about that stack effect. Do you know what spiders' favorite food is?
I don't know.
No?
Spiders.
Spider food?
Yeah, the spiders. Spiders love to eat dust mites, right? Dust mites are tiny insects that live basically off of eating your dead skin cells.
Sure.
They're invisible little bugs. Spiders, if they can find a place to build a web that has a lot of air in it, that's dusty and constantly flowing, very intelligently build a web there and catch the dust, which attracts the dust mites, and then they crawl all over their web and eat the dust mites. Why this is important for this to talk about the stack effect, if you have a lot of cobwebs at these extremities, we walk around with a thermal camera and can see where it's cold in your basement. And when you see those coldest areas in the rim joist and you turn you look just with the flashlight, there's all the cobwebs. Because the spiders know they find the dust there and the dust mites. And it's just proof. You can also tell this by looking at, if you have fiberglass insulation in there, it's real common. Get yourself a glove, don't get itchy, put on a mask, it's gross. Pull it out. If it's filthy on the back and it gets cleaner, that fiberglass is just filtering that dust as it's coming in.
Wow.
Most people are allergic to dust mites. You have a lot of dust, you have a lot of mites. If you have that flow, you also have moisture, and mold can grow in dust. It can grow on wood and drywall. The list goes on. So that's why the under space of the house, we really dive down there. Sam and I, who's sitting off camera here, visiting from New York, another franchisee, tomorrow morning, we're going to go put an ozone machine in a crawl space that's about this tall. And I'm going to go with my Tyvek suit and crawl around and assess what's going on down there, because the house smells awful. I mean, bad.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you guys take care of any with the rim joist? Do you guys insulate that then?
We do. So we engage in crawl space encapsulation. We do crawl space insulation, and then of course mold disinfection remediation. But we recommend using board foam is my best choice, especially for a DIY job. You can go in and cut squares of your 2.5-inch pink board foam, polyisocyanate or something comparable, and just fit them into those spaces where the fiberglass was as tightly as you can, and use just the great stuff, 1 part foam to seal the edges. We do it as well. We also do closed cell spray foam installation. And we've, improving the air quality really comes down to humidity and temperature a lot. Everybody wants to know what's in the air that you're breathing, but what's the humidity of it? The EPA recommends 30 to 60% for health and safety. We recommend below 47%, but because below 47% relative humidity, mold spores, dust mites cannot survive.
Wow.
So
it's incredible information.
Yeah, so that's how we get into the insulation bit of it. Is if I'm going to remove the mold from your house, that's one thing. But if we want it to stay gone, we need to know that the root cause of that problem, constant moisture intrusion from unsealed dirt, or a leaky rim joist, or really in most cases a combo of all those things.
Sure.
And sometimes those things are, 5 people live in the house and take a shower every morning, and no one uses the fan, and they leave the door open.
Sure.
And lo and behold, the attic scuttle that is very leaky for that air going out next to the bathroom has a bunch of mold in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can really trace the vapor cloud, to the problem sometimes. So,
okay. Wow. We have one question we always ask our guests, and it's comes down to: is there a book you've read, maybe in your experience with being a business owner, or just in general, that has impacted you, and kind of how's that book?
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I learned how to read, so I can have an answer to this question. My favorite book, and I read it about 1.5 years ago, is I always screw up the title of it, which is funny because I love the book so much. It's called "I Never Met a Story I Didn't Like: Mostly True Tall Tales" by Todd Snyder.
Okay.
And he's a folk singer that I follow and listen to a lot for years and years and years. And the book, he talked a lot about his career in music and how he had to go against all these odds and things. And there never really is some comfortable success point that you would achieve. It's
sure,
you have to keep doing this thing. And I got a lot of lessons out of that about how to be yourself and how to pursue passion and stuff. Yeah. So it's
important stuff.
It's a great book.
Awesome.
It's a little wild, but it's it's a good read. So that was my favorite.
Okay, cool. Well, we just want to thank you again for being here today. This, as quick as this was some very impactful information for all of our viewers out there to see and to learn more about what you guys do. So kind of give us a quick little rundown again. What are the things that you guys all cover as far as the company that you guys do?
Yep. So Green Home Solutions is mold, bacteria, odor, allergen, and dust removal experts.
Okay.
If you have one of those problems, something smells bad, dirty, spots on the wall, any of those questions, we are also an indoor air quality company. So if you have larger concerns about things like VOCs and chemicals, it's not necessarily that we address that, but we can be a very useful source to provide you consultation information.
Okay.
And we always do free estimates, free consultations,
Okay.
free inspections.
Okay. Good to know.
Yep.
Good to
So-
know. Well, thank you again. So how can people get in touch with you if they wanted to have a consultation?
Best way, our office line is answered professionally 7 days a week, not 24 hours, but pretty expanded hours. I'd say from 6 in the morning till 6 at night.
Okay.
It's 218-576-5293.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys for all tuning in to this episode of Everything Twin Ports. Team Dusick here, Steve Stern with Green Home Solutions. Again, thank you for watching. Check Steve out. He's got a great company. We've used him for a couple projects for buyers of ours. Comes highly recommended. And we'll see you guys next time.